Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2023 Toyota GR Corolla Core. Now, the last time that I drove a Corolla, it was the Nightshade, standard Corolla, and we had a crazy snowstorm in Austin. And now we have the GR, and the weather decided to not behave either. So let's go ahead and get started really quickly. We get started in the front and we can see this thing looks incredible. I love this front end. It's so aggressive. Now, that was one of my biggest complaints when we had the hatchback, was that the front end, it wasn't the most aggressive Corolla one. So the Corolla does have, or did have, might be different now, but the sedan had the more aggressive bumper, which I loved, and I thought, man, that would look great in the hatchback. Some people have swapped them out. It's a little bit of work, but it's possible. But then now you have this. I love this front end. It is so aggressive. This red color is Supersonic Red. Yeah, you'll call a lot of attention to yourself. Not just the fact that it is a GR Corolla, and if you know kind of thing, but the red really stands out. I love the color. And we have the headlights. They have a nice swoop design to them. We have a nice projector LED light on them. It's just a really nice design. We have the Toyota badge there with the grille. We have some openings in here for some air. We have the front massive grille. It's just a big, mean look to it. I do love it. I love that it's in black. We have the fog lights in the front that look really good. Now, we have some openings here, and yes, they are functional, so really nice to see. And yeah, just be aware this bumper is a little low. Yeah, there were a couple of times where I kind of parked a little too close, and I was like, oh, okay, well, not too close, but just close enough, really. But this front end, though, it's spectacular. And you can see from the front end, we could definitely see the added width we get with the GR Corolla fender. So yeah, it just looks really, really nice. I love this. Yeah, time for what's under there. We get under the hood and we have the 1.6 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, and it is cranking out 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 6-speed intelligent manual transmission and then to the GR4 all-wheel drive. Now, let's get started with the obvious. Yes, we have a turbocharged Corolla. Yes, it's a 3-cylinder. Yes, it cranks out 300 horsepower. And man, does it feel so good. It is such a blast. This engine is incredible. It doesn't sound half bad. Now, I don't believe it's getting pumped in, but either way, it's done really well because I don't sense a massive difference. It sounds good on the outside as well, so that's the other great thing. It performs incredible. Love it. The transmission, it's a 6-speed manual. Love the shifts. No issues with that, except that the gears are a little bit long. And paired up with the engine itself, so there's basically, if you're pushing it, you need to go to the red line. You need to be really on the red line when you shift, because if you don't, if you're literally like maybe 250 or 500 RPMs short of the red line, it is going to bog down a bit on the next gear, in the sense that it has to re-spool up that turbo, and then you feel it. So it was just kind of weird when I first got the car and I took it for a spirited drive, and I was wondering, I was like, why am I getting kind of like the bogging down? And it was just that it was, with the little boost meter that it has, it was just kind of going down and then having to spool back up. You take it to the red line or really, really close to it, and it will reward you with great performance on the next gear. The turbo's already spooled up or continuing spooled up. So that's kind of the only thing that I saw when, again, you're kind of pushing it. So just be aware of that. The transmission is great. You have the intelligent manual transmission, so it has the rev matching. It has the clutch that, so I want to talk about kind of the newer manuals, and I noticed it with the GR Corolla, is that there's no feel to the clutch. There's no characteristic to it. It's an easy easy, super easy car to drive, which I don't know if I kind of like that. It's kind of weird, but what basically I'm talking about is you take the clutch pedal out a bit, and if you don't give it enough, if you haven't given it enough gas, it will auto rev it for you to make sure you don't stall. So it kind of works like an anti-stall. Not bad, not bad, but that kills the bite feel of a clutch. It really does kill it. It's bland. It's bland on that side of things. But other than that though, it is so much fun. It is so fun to rev this thing. It is so fun to get it in boost. It's got an old school turbo boost feel to it. So it does have some power on the low end, but once that turbo kicks in, it just has so much more of it. And yes, I know turbo lag kind of can be, you know, kind of scary when you don't have grip, but not with this. You have a ton of grip with this to get that power down. And speaking of, let's go ahead and get down to those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have this nice black 18-inch wheel, and it is wrapped in the 235/40 Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. Now, a couple of things with this. The grip, insane. Well, first, it looked great. It looks unbelievable. I love the black. I love it against the red. I love the design. Everything is just really, really nice about this. The tire, it's incredible. The amount of grip that these tires put out, and even in this cold temperature, it was sticking so hard, and I love it. It's just such a good setup, and the power distribution to all those wheels is just incredible. It's such a good setup. It's insane the amount of grip this little car has. Those brakes feel really good. Now, because we have the performance package, you're probably wondering, why does the Core have the red calipers? So we do have that because of the performance package that, again, includes the torsion differential. But yeah, oh my gosh, I don't know what else I've had so much confidence in a car. I can't remember. I honestly can't, because this has been such an amazing setup. The suspension, it's not soft, it's stiff. It's gonna be sports car stiff. The incredible thing about this is my wife, being in the passenger, sometimes you feel bumps a little bit more or are less forgiving than, you know, someone that's experiencing the drive. Yeah, so it's not the smoothest ride, but she did not mention it one time. And that's kind of the psychological thing about this vehicle, is that, you know, it's a, you know, race bred car, so you're gonna forgive it for a little bit of things. But honestly, I want that suspension to be on this because it just performs so damn well. It's just really good. Now, when you get the higher models or the higher trims of the GR, you do get stickier tires. I'm kind of glad we have these because they're a little bit better or more forgiving in this kind of weather where it's just dewy. Yeah. And those other tires, they are, I believe, the Michelin Cup Sports. Those need a lot of heat in them. Having them in the RCF that we once reviewed, yeah, you had to have so much heat in them for the street that it was scary all the time getting that power down. But this setup is incredible. I don't know of anything that can beat the amount of grip and confidence that this has been able to give me, you know, from my skills or lack thereof. Well, guys, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this thing looks so good. It's totally the definition of what a hot hatch should be. And let's break down what we see. So on the front, we do get those headlights kind of sweeping back a little bit. We do get the bulbous, is how I'll describe, fender flares with the front bumper matching it. It just looks really good. I love that they didn't just go bolt-on fenders kind of situation. So I love that it is the fender actually coming out and that it's such a smooth line. There's something right there that is incredible, that line we have. And yeah, we have the big wheels. They look nice. They really fill the wheel well. We have a good amount of sidewall on there, so it's not too bad. It is, some people say it's a little too high for a performance car, but I like it. It gives you that everyday drivability, making sure you don't hit potholes. And if you want to put it in the 50-50 split, yeah, maybe a little bit of rally, some, you know, unpaved roads like this. That's what I felt the most comfortable, kind of wanting to do kind of thing. So yeah, we have that set up there. We have the nice venting here. Looks great in black. We have the GR badging. That looks really good. The mirrors, yes, we have black mirrors. I love this. It looks great. No, we don't have the camera system, so it is just the rear camera. Forgot to mention that we don't get a front facing camera, just rear camera. I know, less weight, things like that, but yeah, every day. But it's not a difficult car to park. But love the black mirrors. I love the black framing as well. We have around the windows, and yes, the side skirts at the bottom look really good, super aggressive, really kick out from the car itself. Now, yes, back here we do get a little bit of kind of stuck on body panels, which is kind of needed, obviously, when you're going from the fender itself to the door. Down here, though, on the side skirt, we do have the GR4 letters in there. And again, yes, we do get the stuck on kind of body panel here, and this looks like it is too. We'll give you a pass because that just looks so good. But other than that, though, this line is just so nice. Oh, one more thing, you won't be able to see the spoiler because the Core doesn't have it. You have to go up to the circuit or the MORIZO, yes, please correct me if I said that wrong, trim. So yes, we don't get the spoiler. That kind of almost wants me to get a circuit because of that spoiler in the back. It just looks so good, or just get it aftermarket. But either way, though, this side profile looks really nice. We have key fob in my pocket, and I go ahead and reach, it unlocks. I can go ahead and open, and I'm good to go. Close that off, lock it right there, and I reach for the back, and you're not going to get it. So the sensor is only on the front one, so you do have to kind of do that and then open up. The good thing about it is it's not a big vehicle, so it's easy to just kind of touch this so you can open it up for your little kiddos. Now, be aware that this opening back here is a little on the tight side. We'll take a look at that. But yeah, we have that, and again, just a matter of locking it. And now let's head to the back and see what we have back there. We get to the back and we can see this thing is super aggressive. It is so much wider looking than the standard Corolla. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things. The taillights, these taillights are incredible. I love that they kind of come out of the design line and kind of set up their own line here. It just looks really good. Love the black trimming on the top, love the red, just everything, the design to it is really aggressive. And then again, at the top, we don't have the wing that you get with the circuit or the higher end model. Yeah, if you go with the Core, get the aftermarket, get the wing aftermarket, or as an option afterwards, because it just looks so much better with it. It still looks nice though. It still does look nice. And yeah, we have the rear glass here with a wiper, which is nice, especially in weather like this. You're gonna be swiping it constantly now, and that's because the rear view kind of visibility isn't the best. Down here we have the Toyota badging, we have the rear camera here. It's not the highest quality, but it'll do. I mean, it's fine. But we don't have the opening here. We actually have it down here, which we'll get to. Down here again, we have this massive bumper, just super aggressive rear. We have the black area here, kind of like the rear diffuser, I guess you could say. And yes, we have the 3 exhaust tips. What do you guys think about it? Let me know, because I don't mind it. It looks really cool. I like the fact that we have the 3. Would I have liked just one in the middle? No. Would I have liked 2? Yeah, 2 would have been fine, but that middle one just adds a little bit more flair to it. And that's what this Corolla is. It's just adding more of it. So we have that down there. Now, let's go ahead and open this up. So we open it up here. And we have an okay amount of space. I'm trying to remember how the other Corolla was set up. If we had a floor that was so high, because we do have a really high floor, and we do have kind of like a little storage area for additional things, but we have the battery back here. So I'd have to dig up and We'll do some voiceover here to let you know, but there's not much space. So just be aware of that. And that's because this just sits so tall in the trunk area. But we do have the nice GR Corolla mat there, which is nice. I love the design to that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's for the rear. Now, we don't have a remote start because this is manual. So we don't have that option, which I'll comfortably trade for. So let's go ahead and see what we have inside, because it's getting pretty nasty out here. We get inside of the Corolla and we can see it's a pretty kind of standard looking Corolla, but there's so much more to this. So let's go ahead and get started on some things. We first tackle the door, and yeah, it's not, don't expect super luxury out of this. So the door isn't too bad though. It is a harder plastic up here. We do have some cloth down here. The controls work. Literally, there's nothing super fancy about this. We do get the JBL speakers with this, because this one does have the premium sound option, which sounded really good, not too bad with that. But overall though, again, it's not a super fancy looking door, but it definitely gets the job done. Now we get to the seats, and the seats are incredible. These things are a blast to sit in. Now we do have the cloth option on here, and they are manually adjusted. We do have the GR at the top, which I love. I love the stitching to the seat, and the shape is just really good. We do have heated options in this. They're not too bad. So it's a kind of two-stage. You have a low and a high. I had to put it on high today to really feel anything. Low doesn't really, let's just say it takes a really long time. But other than that though, the seat is super comfortable, even big boy friendly. Yes. So definitely I am loving being in this GR and just taking it for a drive, because the seats are just so comfortable. We come over to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is really nice. I love the shape. I love the feel. I love the functionality of it. Everything is just really good. So let's get started on the design. So we do have this kind of lighter stitching on the leather. It feels good. The grip to it is nice. The ergonomics, it's really there. I love the fact that my thumb just really sits nicely in the groove there. No issues with the feel to it. The leather definitely feels really nice. And we get over to the buttons, and on the left hand side we are going to get the adjustments for the gauge cluster, and we have the volume buttons at the bottom, which was really nice. I love that we have those down there, and they were pretty good to gain access to them. Then we come over to the right side, and we have the cruise control settings on there, as well as the next track button down here, which I really like to have in there. And you're gonna need it because the infotainment system literally only has one knob. If you could see that one volume knob, that's all you get. So you're definitely going to be using this if you don't want to be touching the screen. But overall though, the steering wheel feels really good, and it just looks so nice, especially with that GR badge. Now over here on the left hand side of the wheel, we are going to have some buttons. So we have the brightness for the infotainment system, we have the auto lights, we have the odometer trip, heated wheel. I believe that is heated windshield wiper, but not sure what that one is. So we'll have to take a look at the manual for that. But the more important one I want to discuss is the IMT. That is the intelligent manual transmission button. I don't know if it's because this doesn't have the profile set up, like a driver profile in it, but I wish that were always on, or a way to always make it stay on. And the reason why is because you have the rev matching. That is your rev matching button essentially, and I have to constantly turn it on. So I don't know if it's because of the profile, but either way, if you need rev matching, that's what you press. So now let's get to the gauge cluster. So we go ahead and we turn this on, and we get the nice GR. And we also get the avoid excessive acceleration due to temperature message. Yes, so yeah, just don't go out there bashing it before it gets up to temperature. So this is the gauge cluster, and it is an all digital screen, which is nice. We do get some customizability. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So on the left hand side of the steering wheel, I'll go ahead and switch over to the different views, and actually have to ignore that. And we have different modes. So we have 1, 2, and 3. I was let's go with one. So one, basically, if you hold it down, you can switch over and adjust these guys. So on the left hand side, we have things like the boost level, we have the G's being measured, we have nothing, we have trip average, so MPGs, adaptive cruise control, so compass, yeah. So we have all these different things that we can choose from there. So I'll go ahead and I'll leave the power distribution there because we're gonna have some fun with that. And we come over, and on the middle we have some of the same things. We also have the gear selection that you're in. So I've had it at that because nothing else is really, I mean, I know what gear I'm in, is just nothing exciting about anything else. And then on the right hand side, oh, we have to be in the adjustment mode. And then on the right hand side, again, we have just kind of the same settings there. So I'll just keep it at the G's being measured. So I'll press there to exit. Now with this, we do have different driving modes. We have, so you'll hit the switch. We have eco, we have normal, sport. Now sport does change things a little bit. We do get that little bar at the top that we had with the GR86. I hate it. I hate it because the RPMs are just so compressed right in here and then so spread out there, which was probably the problem I had initially when I was shifting and it was kind of coming to a dead, RPMs coming down below the boost level, because I was so worried of, the slow speed that this was going or the fast speed that this was going, and then kind of the speed it took to fill up the rest. So it's not proportional. Toyota, it just makes more sense. And I'm not the only one. I was kind of looking at other people's reviews, and yeah, other people were complaining about the same thing because it catches you off guard with the RPMs. So wish that were changed. But you do have the option of changing that back to the regular dial, even when you are in sport mode. So you still can have this view but be in sport mode. Now the other thing is there's a secret expert mode. So you put it in sport mode and you press the traction control off, and we are now in expert mode. We're not going to try expert mode because we're not an expert in driving, especially in these conditions, which are a little on the slick side. So we'll put traction control back on, but yeah, that's what you get with the gauge cluster. And let me see if it gives me, no, you have to kind of go a little bit. Yeah, you can't see the gear selection, but you will when we go driving. Okay, so this is what I mean with the RPMs. So you do have to be in expert mode, because if you're not in expert mode and you rev it, it stops at 4,500 and then goes back down to 4,000. So if you go into expert mode, you do have to have the clutch in and you accelerate, and watch how the RPM just kind of, it's not linear. Yeah, it's just really weird and it will catch you off guard. So yeah, I wish that were linear. We come over to the infotainment screen and it's nice. It's small. It's really get to the point kind of infotainment system. It is Apple wireless CarPlay, so that is a plus. But other than really, just kind of being in Apple CarPlay, there's really nothing else that is exciting in this infotainment system. In fact, I don't think it looks good. But again, you're not going to be focusing on that. You're going to be focusing on having an amazing drive in this little car. So yeah, you get a pass for it because it's not really needed. Just kind of like how the Miatas was kind of tiny. Nothing else was really exciting. But again, you're there for the drive. So it's okay. Oh, the JBL speakers. Yes, the JBL. So this does have the premium speakers. They're not bad. They sound really good, but there's still kind of a weird, I don't know if this is maybe a little too far in or not pointed enough, but it does sound like the speaker isn't really hitting my ear. It feels like it's going a little bit further to my right. So the spatial kind of design to it is a little bit off, but other than that, the sound though is really good. You could bump the tunes up and it sounds incredible. We come down here to the climate controls and they're fine. Very simple, very straight to the point. You don't need anything fancy. It works. That's pretty much what you kind of need in this car. Now we have to come really down here to see the wireless charger. So this does have a wireless charger. Now the only thing with this is it's been a little tricky. It's been charging, but only for a little bit, and then it stops charging. I don't know if it's because my phone has a Miata case, but yeah, it just, I took it out of the case. It still was kind of like not 100%. So not sure if it's just my phone. I have to investigate a little bit more. But the only thing I don't like about this, well, another thing I don't like about it is when you go to put it in, because it's so uncomfortable, there were times where I activated this and I was wondering, why is my butt getting warm? And it was because, yeah, I had set it to high accidentally, and so just be aware of that. And yeah, right now it is charging, but then you're gonna see it's just going to start blinking. So I know it has contact, and I'm talking about like not even moving. But yeah, just be aware your button's there. If you don't want to charge there, you do have a wired USB-C only port, so it does have to be USB-C only. And I probably should have brought it because, yeah, I'm already not charging. Again, don't know if it's my phone or if it's something with the charger itself. Then we come to the shifter, and the shifter is really nice. I love the feel to it. It just, the throws are, maybe someone said it was a little too long, but I don't mind it. The actual engagement feels nice and notchy. It feels definitely like my Miata after I did the bushing rebuild for the shifter, but it just feels really like clank, like you're committing to it. You know you're in the gear. Now to get it in reverse, you just gotta pop this little guy up and then go towards you, and there we have reverse. And when you are in reverse, again, the camera isn't super high quality, but again, it's not that difficult to park this guy. And yeah, other than that, that's really it. That's the shifter for you. And again, it just feels really, really good. We come over here, and this is where we have some fun. So this is where you can have basically the power distribution. So when we move it to the left, we do get the 60 in the front, 40% in the back. When we move it to the right, we get the 30 in the front and 70 in the back. And then when we go in the middle, we go track, which is 50-50 distribution. We come back a little, and we do have a cup holder for 2 cups, and it's not bad. Really no complaints there. It's out of the way, which is nice. Passenger can grab it, which is nice on that side, and they're not kind of interrupting you. And then we get the fun thing. We get the manual emergency brake handle. Yes, it is a manual handle. We're not getting a little button, which is not that exciting. Not that we're gonna do skids, but there's just something about having just kind of like, you know, the manual feel to this, or just the you know, the non-electronic button to this. So it's nice, it feels good, the leather is nice, the stitching is really well done. It's just a good design. Now, yes, we do lose the armrest. We don't have an armrest, so just be aware. That's fine. Like I said, I've just pretty much been like this the whole time when I'm resting, or obviously on the shifter when I need to shift. But I don't miss it. And yeah, you could kind of put your phone back here, but not really, because it's a little too wide. So yes, it's again because of my Miata case, but yeah, it's kind of, yeah, not letting you. And then we have the charging options back here if we want to charge there instead of in the front. But yeah, that's what we have in the front. Let's go ahead and head to the back. We get to the back, and yeah, we take a look at the door really quick. Again, just very standard plastic, nothing too fancy, but not bad. And we have a little bit of cloth. We do have the little handle area, and we have a cup holder, which is nice here, especially when we don't have anything in the center console. But yeah, so it's nice to have the cup right in there. And we get in, and the seats are okay. It's again not a super high performance in the rear. It's really more reserved for the front end of, you know, the front driver's seat and the passenger. But overall, though, it is a nice feel to it, though. Even though it is cloth, we do have nice comfortable seating, and we have my kiddo seat Just be aware, there's not much space. Legroom space is really the problem with this, which is why when we had the standard Corolla, he didn't get to ride in that because he was younger and we had the bigger car seat and it just didn't fit in this area. In the hatch, that's kind of the problem you get. In the sedan, it's significantly bigger. So just be aware, if you're looking at a Corolla, you have a family, you need the rear space, go with the sedan, even though you don't get the fun, you know, GR engine. But we have the cup holders here as well if you want additional cup holders other than just the ones on the door, and that's pretty much it for the rear. Now when we go for a drive in the GR Corolla, a couple of things. It is a little bit on the noisier side, so just be aware of that. It's not super refined. If you've ever driven a Mini, that's kind of, I would say, the volume level that it's on. So the tires are a little bit on the noisier side because they're kind of giving you so much feedback. The suspension, like I said, it isn't on the softest side, which is fine. You're getting the performance that you want in this vehicle. And like I mentioned, my wife, I kind of was testing her patience a little bit with hitting bumps on purpose to see how she reacted. She could care less. It was awesome to realize that Toyota set this up so well that even though it's got that sports car feeling, that she was perfectly okay with it not being the smoothest of rides, because again, you're just enjoying the fact that it's such an awesome performance driving little Corolla. Yes, it's crazy that I said that sentence, but it is so damn well. And again, we're dealing with these like bigger bumps, smaller bumps, and yes, I am feeling it, but I love it because it feels so good. It feels very planted. That's why I enjoy it. Not like the GR86. The GR86 was so stiff. The vibrations, everything was going through the chassis, not to the chassis, if that makes sense. But that was on public streets, on, you know, everyday driving. On the track, the GR86 was a blast. Ooh, that was a big bump, but we're good. That is the incredible thing about this, is that it's done, I think, so much better than the 86. Yeah, but the suspension is there. It's what you want it to be in a vehicle like this, and the grip is incredible. Now let's talk about that engine. The 1.6 liter turbocharged inline 3-cylinder, cranking out 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. It is then connected to the intelligent manual transmission, which is a 6-speed, and then to the GR4 all-wheel drive system. Now, let me tell you, this thing is incredible. So, again, like I mentioned, the intelligent manual transmission, or the IMT, the button I'm having to constantly press, again, it might just be profile related, because again, this is a press car, so they really don't have we're purposely hitting some bumps, and it's not bad. It's a sports car. But yeah, the transmission is gonna rev match for you when you have that on. The clutch, again, like I mentioned, it is a little bit on the it has no life, in the sense that you're not going to feel the engagement point, because it will automatically rev to make sure that you don't stall. So it has kind of an anti-stall mode to it. So yeah, we have that. Now let's go ahead and let's take this corner a little bit quick. And yeah, the brakes are so good on this as well, and the grip is just so damn rewarding. It is incredible. So we'll come to a stop, and a couple of things. So we'll put it in sport mode. So we're going to switch it off, to the left being the power distribution, and on the right we're going to have the lateral forces. So what I want to do is go ahead, and I'm in sport. Now when I have the clutch in and I accelerate, it only takes it to about 4,000. So that's if you want to have that launch. I've done that launch. It's bad. It bogs down way too much. So I can go expert. And when I go to expert mode, and you have to be in sport to go to expert mode, and hear this. All the way to 7,500. So let's go ahead and let's launch with the expert mode, because it gives me a little bit more. You kind of want to be maybe about 4,500 and go. and away we go. This thing is fast. This thing is fast and it feels so good. So downshift and it auto res for me, which is great for a vehicle like this that I'm not too familiar with. Let me put it back in, put traction control back on. Now I like it because I'm not too familiar with obviously the gearing to this, and we want to make sure that you know, we stay within the revs. But it is so nice, and at any RPM, as soon as the as soon as that turbo spools up, the power is on. It really is on, and it feels just so good. The grip, oh. And we are right now in track mode, so we are in 50-50 power distribution, and it just feels so good. And yeah, everything comes at you really fast, so be ready to hit those brakes. And don't worry though, because those brakes are so damn rewarding. That brake pedal is incredible. So now, yeah, we can see the power distribution is set. Yeah, it is so damn good. Now, you do have the option as well to get the RPMs blinking for your shift light. We set it at 6,500 RPM, which is probably good because that kind of gives you a little bit of cushion when you want to get to that about 7,000 range, which is where you need to go to make sure that the Corolla doesn't go out of boost. Because if you switch at 6,500 RPM, which is the orange line, that will bog you down when you go to the next gear. So you lose all the boost, then it kicks in. Now, we're gonna go ahead and put it in sport mode. We're in 30 in the front, 70 in the back distribution. And let's go ahead and, yeah, let's put it in expert mode again. See how we can do with the launch, see how it kind of behaves. And I'm gonna short shift it. I'm gonna short shift it when the light tells me at 6,500 RPM. And hopefully the camera kind of catches the bogging that you kind of get and then the surge. Hopefully this camera can get the turbo gauge and see how it reacts there. So we'll just kind of give it a little bit and away we go. Yeah, so it does bog a little bit down again. You have to really be, and again, this is only for like if you're in performance, you know, on the track, and you want to just keep the momentum going. You do have to be very close to the 7,500 RPM, what looks, or 7,250 was really where I was seeing it hit the rev limiter there. And the other thing as well is, yeah, I should have probably changed it to the round dial, because that is going to be a better option for that. But man, this thing is just so good at anything you throw it at. It is just so good. And crazy enough, even in this like dewy rain, it is incredible. I have so much confidence in this car to give me the grip that I need, the power distribution. And let me switch it back to 50-50, because that is definitely the best feeling when you're dealing with situations like this. Even though, although it may not be the funnest, because you know 30-70 would definitely be the best for something like this, but yeah, it is incredible. Oh yeah, it's just so much fun. This has been a blast. This has been my favorite car to drive. This is up there with the M2CS. Yes, I am putting it up there with the M2CS. It's just been that good. The price, yeah, you know, the price we're gonna get a little bit up there. It is a special model, it is a limited model, and this is the base of those. So there are a lot of different options with the circuit, with the MORIZO, hopefully I said it right. So even, you know, we don't get the carbon roof on it, which is why, and this doesn't have a sunroof, which is why we have this camera here today. But yeah, it is so good. And the Corolla itself was really great in the hatchback, and I said we need a turbo in this, and when we got this, it's incredible. It's been unbelievable how amazing this little car is. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the 2023 Toyota GR Corolla, and remember, drop the gear, let it rev match, and go. See ya.